All right, the recording has started, and I don't know if I'm sharing my screen yet, but this is the February 11th, 2020 Rook Community Meeting. And let me get the screen share started here.
There it is.
There we go. Okay, so we can get started here. So, excuse me, since the last community meeting, we had a 1.2.4 patch release, and we also did a 1.2.3 and a 1.2.4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we're targeting potentially a 1.2.5 next week.
Yeah, I tried to update the board, or took a quick pass at it, 5-minute pass this morning, and there's nothing urgent, I think, that we need to get in the release. Just thinking that whatever fixes we have in by end of next week, we could do another patch release.
So just kind of almost like a regular cadence sort of thing now, instead of the critical fix is driving it.
Right. Yeah, 1.2 is, yeah, hopefully by this point getting stable enough, people don't have urgent fixes.
Okay, that sounds fine. Are there any bigger fixes that went in since the 1.2.4 that are waiting in the release branch that have not yet been shipped in a 1.2.5?
There was at least one fix I know for RBAC related to the CSI 2.0 driver that I don't think it's not critical to have out in the release. I think if somebody hits it, we could tell them a workaround, basically.
Okay.
Sounds back again. Sorry.
Hey, Alexander. All right, cool. That sounds good. Have there been any recent thoughts on like a 1.3? Because we've had a lot of focus on stabilizing 1.2 and then backporting stuff to 1.1 even as well. But we haven't been talking much about a 1.3 full release.
Right. And you're asking about a timeline or what's in it?
Yeah. Have there been thoughts about
right?
what we really want to include, or what the potential release schedule might be?
Well, for the schedule, I'm thinking we want to do it by mid to late March, in time for KubeCon. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would give us a quarterly cadence anyway.
Yep.
And as far as the Ceph storage provider, that aligns with when Octopus is supposed to be coming out, and we want 1.3 to support that. That's one of the major things. So yeah, mid-March is the current goal.
Cool. That sounds great. I like the O release for Ceph. It almost seems like the boring when it's just Octopus, as opposed to all the more exotic cephalopods that have been the theme so far.
I wonder if there was another cephalopod that starts with O that would have been more exciting.
Well, yeah, I don't think.
Too obvious, though.
Yeah, Jared thinking a release name is exciting was probably not part of the criteria, but that's okay. All right, cool. That sounds good for all the milestones. I think that's all sounds reasonable. Were there any major features merged that we wanted to briefly bring up here? We got sections for other stuff like the
yeah. I think we have a few topics for later in the agenda, but
yeah.
I think we talked before about the big OSD changes that were merged by Seb.
Yep.
I've got a reminder about that feature later in the agenda.
Yeah, exactly. We have a reminder of that later on. Okay, sounds good. All right, so in the community section, quick updates on KubeCon Amsterdam, which will be less than 2 months now. It starts March 30th, like the last day of March. And we do have confirmed the, thank you, Travis, for the grammar fix there. We do have confirmed the maintainer track sessions for Rook. So we have a separate intro and deep dive session this time in Amsterdam. And then the CNCF Project Pavilion sign up. We were planning on getting that a full kiosk for Rook, and planning on staffing it for the full time there. Travis, did you follow up on finishing that sign up for that yesterday?
Yeah, I signed up for that yesterday, and I also pinged Mike Perez about that to see if he's planning on going or helping coordinate that. And he had actually also reached out and signed up for it already. So
Oh,
we
he
may have a
already did
double
sign
sign
up?
up, but or at least was communicating with CNCF people in Slack.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he
But
went
we
to the
did
official
get at
site and
least,
signed up.
we got at least one sign up completed, we know for sure.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
that is
excellent.
completed. Yeah, Mike will definitely help coordinate it.
Cool. Is everyone here on the call going to be in Amsterdam? Seb, are you going to be there? Sweet.
Blaine?
Yeah, it's like a 2.5 hours train for me. So
Nice. Yeah, then Alexander's taking the train. He said yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's a bit longer, but yeah.
But train it is. And Blaine, are you going to be in Amsterdam?
I'm really not sure actually.
Oh.
I haven't heard. I don't know.
Oh, well, we hope to see you there, man. That'd be
Is
great.
Sebastian Wagner also here? Oh, no, he's in Germany. I'll be, because of the timing for the conferences, I'll be, I think it's just like 1 week before KubeCon. I'll be at SUSECon having a
Where's that?
hands-on lab in Ireland, Dublin.
Oh, Dublin. Oh, cool. That's exciting.
And going to have a hands-on lab there. So, yeah.
Nice.
Just
Very
before
cool.
KubeCon.
I assume.
You know, you're hitting the road, doing the circuit.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. All right, cool. So then the next item we have here is an update on the graduation process. So we have continued to be tracking all the to-do items in this document here that just links from the agenda. Let's see some updates since last time. Is that we confirmed with the CNCF that we only need one sponsor, and I have a meeting, a call tomorrow afternoon with Saad Ali, the chair of the of the Kubernetes SIG storage. He is a new member of the technical oversight committee, and he is a storage expert in Kubernetes and has known about the Rook project for a while. So he would be a fantastic sponsor for us, and he seems receptive to it. So I'm meeting with him tomorrow afternoon to talk through a sponsorship for the Technical Oversight Committee. And we also confirmed that even though the process is not publicized or documented yet, we do have to go through a special interest group first before presenting to the Technical Oversight Committee, or before a vote could be called by the TOC at least. So the schedule for those is the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month. So tomorrow morning is the 2nd Wednesday of February. And so at 8 a.m. Pacific, we will be presenting to the CNCF storage SIG tomorrow morning. And the expectations have been set. I believe that we're not ready for a full-on presentation. We weren't planning on doing that until like March for the TOC, but we're going to start the conversation. We're going to go through some of the progress and the stats around the project and some of the accomplishments, and get the conversation going about where are the gaps in the due diligence that the SIG needs to see before moving on to the Technical Oversight Committee. So that will happen tomorrow morning, and we'll have a better idea of next steps after that conversation tomorrow morning.
And it sounds like, so if we have the formal presentation in 2 more weeks, it sounds like they'll record that, and that might even be sufficient for the CNCF voting, right? Just
yeah,
that people can watch that recording if they want.
Yep, which would be really cool. To not have to do 2 separate presentations, one to the SIG and do it again for the Technical Oversight Committee. So that would be cool to be a little bit more efficient that way, but we will see how things go with the SIG and what the recommendation is. The people on the SIG are, a lot of people we're friendly with and have good interactions in the ecosystem and community with. Aaron Boyd is one of the chairs, I think, of the SIG. and Quentin Hool, and Alex Kirchhoff, Saad Ali, Xing Yang, Luis Pabon from Portworx is on there too. So a lot of people we all know and have good interactions with. So it should be a productive conversation, and I'm excited to have that tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, so we have about 40 responses to the user survey, which is good. But I would love to, if there are high profile or bigger companies that we know are using Rook in production and may not have seen the survey, to specifically go reach out to them and get their responses as well. So I don't know if we have done that effort yet, or if we've just kind of been putting it out into Slack and to Twitter. But if there's any production users, especially like the Red Hat folks that you're aware of, I would love to get their data and to be able to add them as an adopter and get their testimonial and add that to our presentation, because that would help a lot.
As far as the responses, like are they all smaller responses, or as far as the company sizes, or have you looked through? I'm just curious what those responses look like. Yeah,
they've been a pretty good spread, actually. One thing that's kind of tough is that a lot of people are not okay with sharing that. They'll respond to the survey, but they're not okay with their company name and stuff being shared publicly. So of the 40 responses, I think like it's about 60% or so maybe that we're not okay with having their name shared publicly. So that cuts out. So that cuts out a set of the pool that we can put into the presentation. So we need to go after people that were happy to partner with us and put their company name out there and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's everything I know about graduation so far. Travis and I are going to sync up after this meeting to just talk through some more stuff there. Like getting all of our stats together in our plan. So that's not a closed session or anything. It's just it might bore some people on the general community call. So if anybody wants to hang around after the call is done to talk graduation stuff, that's perfectly fine. All right, Seb, do you want to tell us about your OSD changes again?
Yes. So
yes.
no, yeah, sorry. So the latest ones are for where when running OSDs on PVCs, we also want to be able to have a dedicated device to store BlueStore's metadata. So now when you're creating a cluster, not only you can obviously create PVCs for the main block device, but you can also add other PVCs, and those PVCs will be used to store the metadata device for each individual OSDs. So that's what the patch is about.
Yep. Yeah. So that issue you opened, I think, it's got kind of here's the plan, here's what's coming in 1.3. We'll make sure that gets into docs and start getting the word out for people to make sure they're upgrading.
Oh, you were referring to the other changes.
Oh yeah, lots of OSD changes going on.
Yeah, because I thought we already discussed that like in one of the community meetings already. But yeah, I can show you this again. So in 1.3.
Yeah, people on the call here probably have heard it a couple times before, so maybe it's fine. But
yeah,
if others were joining, I just wanted to make sure the word was getting out. That's good.
Yeah, and this is I also think that having this written up here is definitely really helpful to be able to summarize what the changes are and what is the impact and what steps need to be taken. That's useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I think the issue summarizes that pretty well.
Yeah,
That's
agreed. Cool. Travis, is this your addition here for CI stability?
Oh wait, did you skip a bullet? Just
oh, I thought. Sorry, that was version support. Oops, sorry. Yep, this one.
Yeah, Seb just opened that PR too. So You want to talk to? The
Oh yeah,
version?
yes. So the goal is as of 1.3, we won't be supporting Mimic anymore. So the supported version will start for Nautilus, and more precisely for 14.2.5, because Nautilus has been around for more than a year, I think. Well, actually a year, and it has numerous pinpoint releases already. So it's already 14.2.7. And yeah, I guess the idea is if you bootstrap a new cluster, then you will only be able to bootstrap a Nautilus cluster if you're using a 1.3 operator. Which means that because 1.2 also supports Nautilus, then you have to upgrade your Mimic. You have to upgrade your Mimic cluster to at least the Nautilus version of 14.2.5.
Mhm.
But I'm assuming people have been doing this for quite a while, and Octopus is really around the corner. We released the first RC like almost 10 days ago. So I'm assuming that people will just rush onto Octopus once it's available.
What about my hammer cluster that I still have running? What am I supposed to do
right.
about that?
Well, you should have been. You should have had
Hammer it into the ground. Kill it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I assume there's no concerns about that versioning plan.
I do not
Yeah,
have concerns personally.
I guess this brings an interesting question: is that we have to make sure that Octopus or 1.3 is available before Octopus comes out, because I'm sure people will rush it once it's available. And if they run 1.2 and 1.3 is not there, then they will be like, oh wait, I wanna upgrade to Octopus. How can I do that? And they will need 1.3. Well, actually, they can do it in 1.2, but they won't be allowed to do. So they will have to wait for 1.3, which has official support for Octopus too.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to look for that too. The timing might be a little bit tricky. I'm assuming, and yeah, I'm suspecting that Octopus will be out before Rook 1.3.
Right. If it's not, and we get 1.3 out first, we could still say we support Octopus. Well, or we could leave it as the unsupported version, but still remove Mimic. Yeah, let's see how the timing goes though.
Yeah,
Hopefully we
perhaps
can
we'll
get
have
it close.
to release 1.3 a little bit earlier.
1.3 earlier, like right after Octopus, you mean?
Something like this, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Do you know what the latest timeline is for Octopus?
I
Or when
forgot.
I thought it was still March. So if we're within a week or two, people should be able to wait for that.
Yeah. So we'll see. And maybe we can just say that we want to support the first pinpoint release of Octopus, like 15.2.1.
Yeah.
Which will always have some quick patches in. So it's usually coming right after and faster.
Yep.
But we'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Travis, was this your item here, the CI stability?
I did add that. Yeah, just to note that I think the next highest common issue in our integration test right now for random failures is the flex volume. Mounting and unmounting sometimes is unpredictable. So in any case, CSI driver is the preferred and we're moving away from flex. So I'm changing the integration tests so that we have most of them running on CSI and only a few of them on flex. So kind of shift that, the test matrix to do more what we are supporting going forward. Still keeping some flex tests, but we just don't need as many. And then hopefully that will give us more stability in the CI as well. So coming soon on that one. That's all.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, the CI stability has come a long way since I don't know, 6, 8, 9 months ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was
But
like,
it's
oh
still
wow,
up and
green.
down.
What's that color?
Right. We got a green master build yesterday. That was exciting. So
Hooray.
it's still not often enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's all the topics in the community section. So we can move on down to the PRs that need discussion. And so, Travis, your PR about the steering committee updates.
Yep. Yeah,
Wanted to
just
bring that one up.
I think so since it was initially opened late last week, I added another commit to it, which with a proposal for sort of a rotating steering committee. So in a nutshell, basically, the steering committee would have a term of 1 year, and you can rejoin the committee, but there's just seemed like a good thing to make it easier to rotate it when people are just not available anymore or whatever. So I'd appreciate feedback on that. And if, this is one of the things we need for graduation. So I'd like to know if there's something blocking it, if we need to talk through that proposal more. I just haven't had any feedback from anyone except Josh on the PR. So
yeah, I mean, well, I was happy with where we landed when we opened the PR. And this addition that Josh suggested, isn't what we had agreed upon before when we had met, and I'm not sold on this addition yet myself. So,
yep, so
I need to. I don't know how to. I want to be able to vocalize or explain it well instead of just I don't like it. So I'm trying to figure that out, and then Bazam's take on it as well would be really useful too. And then I'll send him a note today to weigh in on it as well.
Yep.
But thank you for driving this still.
I figured it would need discussion. So
Yep.
Let's discuss it.
Let's discuss. Yeah, and we have that in our graduation to-do list too.
Mm-hmm. And then the next note I added around stale PRs, I was just looking through old PRs, and some of them probably could be closed, but we didn't need to discuss them all here. But one of them was this Alameda design. It hasn't been touched for a year or whatever. It seemed like a good thing, but just as far as who's going to work on it type of thing.
Yeah, and I don't think we have like the engagement from them to really drive this. I think that they had some interest, and we didn't really. It didn't. I mean, it seems like a nice idea, but it seemed like the work to actually not just incorporate it, but be able to intelligently utilize the data it's surfacing. Like that's the hard part, and I don't see anyone who's going to pick that part up to actually make this useful anytime soon.
So okay, so unless there's another opinion, I'll go ahead and close it.
Yeah, I don't think that this being
that effect.
Yeah, we provided feedback a while ago, and then it never got responded to either.
Right.
This feedback from me is almost a year old now.
A year ago.
Yeah, so I would close it.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so that's everything we had in the in the topics here today. Was there anything that anybody wanted to add that had not gotten into the agenda items?
Blaine, did you possibly want to bring up the drive groups OSD edition here, or are we good there?
I can. I don't know. I don't know how necessary it is necessarily. I feel like you'd mostly be updating Jared at this point, I think.
Jared doesn't care. Yep, we can move on.
I care about everything that Blaine does. Blaine's my boy.
I can give a brief, kind of a brief. So in Ceph, there's the concept of the orchestrator interface. and wanting to add things to Rook from like that Ceph, like a Ceph dashboard is kind of the end goal. And Ceph also has this concept of drive groups, which is a declarative intent for what OSD is to create, which is, it doesn't like slot nicely over top of Rook's current thing, like current methods of adding drives. So the proposal is to add in the ability to specify drive groups in the CRD additionally to what currently exists. And there's the proposal is also some more about kind of the interactions between Ceph and like Ceph volume and things like that to make everything work nicely from a like UX perspective. But I think having the drive groups added in is going to be, I think it's going to be a win overall, because it is declarative and it is like maybe a little over-engineered, but it is like, it does allow for a lot of specification about like what you want for your cluster in a very general sense, even down to like, I want to use, you know, NVMe drives that are larger than 10 terabytes for this, and I want to, I mean, that seems ridiculous. It's a really big drive, but you know, I want to use drives from this manufacturer for this purpose. So there are lots of options that we sort of get for free there.
Cool. That sounds pretty reasonable, Blaine.
Yeah, I think maybe at the end of that call on Friday, I think one thing that Seb brought up is an interesting question. Well, I mean, Kubernetes is really moving to PVs, so the drive groups may not fit that, or we may need to think about how it fits in the PVs, but we can save that for another day.
Yeah.
I think the main scenario at least will be the case where there's not PVs. Let's just use devices, consume them according to those properties. They're separate from PVs. That's how I see it at least.
Yeah, I mean, the more automation that you put in there, because like the, you know, local volume provisioning still has a fair amount of manual steps as far as I understand, you know? And so
right,
any automation you can add to streamline processes, even if it's not like this explicit, you know, upstream Kubernetes local volume way, is, I think, a win for user experience in my book.
Right.
So cool. Okay. All right. So it's everything on the agenda here, so we can adjourn. And then Travis, I'll find you in just a few minutes here, and we can continue discussing graduation plan stuff before tomorrow presentation to the SIG.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, bye.